your business, yourself.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Salman Khan from OMG Burger. I'm the co-founder. It's between me and my wife and my sister-in-law Nina. We run the show for OMG Burger. We feel blessed that we're still open, surviving, and trying to serve the community.
Great. Thanks, Salman. Thanks for being here. We have next up is we have Himad Khan. Himad, tell us a little bit about yourself and your organization.
Assalamu alaikum, I'm Himad. I'm the founder of Haludi. I'm here to see how we can, as a community, support the local restaurants and making sure that nothing is lost and everything comes out stronger than before.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you, Himad. Next up, we have Abbas Danani. Abbas, if you can tell us a little bit about yourself.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. I'm Abbas Tanani. I founded Houston Eats. Houston Eats is kind of like a medium between the restaurants and the consumers, kind of showcasing what the restaurants have to offer. Which is why at a time like this, Himad and I are trying to do what we can to showcase places like Gyro King, places like OMG Burger, what they have to offer. A lot of restaurants are getting creative, especially in the times we are living in right now. So my job kind of is to just kind of showcase what they have to offer. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you, Abbas. Well, next up, we have Anas Ansari from Biryani and More. Anas Bhai, Assalamu alaikum. And
Walaikum assalam. Welcome, everybody. It was nice to see you guys. My name is Anas Ansari, and I'm the owner of Biryani and More. And Alhamdulillah, we have, like most of you guys, have managed to stay afloat, even though it has been tough. But inshallah, we'll make it together.
inshallah. Inshallah. Well, so tonight's session, this session that we have here, it's definitely the topic is Zabihah, but the things that we're not going to be talking about is Zabihah, halal versus Zabihah, hand cut. That's not part of this topic. So if you're joined in for that, I think you're definitely not going to be able to find anything about that in this session. Restaurants in general definitely are, tough businesses to operate. 60% fail within the first year, and 80% within their first 5 years. And I know it's as a lot of industries have been impacted, have been hit hard in these unprecedented times. Restaurants are definitely hit hard as people are given stay-home orders and people are working from home and not going to these restaurants. I want to kind of open up to some of the restaurant owners that are here tonight. How prepared were you guys to operate a business or have a business model in these tragic times, in these unfortunate times, whether it's a disaster that was hit during Harvey time, or now we're just dealing with COVID? How prepared were you guys? And I'm gonna let Anas Bhai kind of start off, and then we'll give everybody a chance to give their input.
Well, we obviously, like most of us, we didn't see it coming. We were reading the news. We knew that things may get tough here, but we work on a model of just-in-time inventory. So plus we don't have a lot of storage space, so we did not hoard a lot of inventory. But Alhamdulillah, we were able to find what we need so far, and then we'll see what happens going forward.
Okay, good. Mike, if you can share a little bit about I know you have multiple locations in around Houston. How prepared were you? Were you guys ever prepared? Was that something that you guys were anticipating that can ever happen with disaster, floods, whatnot?
No, I mean,
Or
we saw it on the news since November, from in China and everything, and I just never thought it would come to the U.S. and hit us like it did. So, we've always done a lot of social media, pushing our brand. We've always had a lot of online orders before and pickups. Our first location was the food truck. So, I mean, it's hit us hard at every location, but you know, it seems to be getting better every day. Like we're definitely doing better than we were in the beginning of this month and in the middle of last month, you know. So like I said earlier, you know, thanks to all our customers for supporting us. You know, even me as a consumer, I try to go out and support the mom and pops versus the big chains, you know, if I had a
Mhm.
choice.
Good, good. And you guys are still open and running
Yeah,
right now with.
we're still open at all our locations. Um, you know, we're trying to keep all our staff busy through this hard time. You know, we did have to limit some of the hours at one of our locations just because, you know, just because the demographics there is slightly different. So we've just made a couple little adjustments to try to make it through this hard time.
Okay, good, good. Salman, I know OMG Burger, you have also a few locations. If you can tell us how you're dealing with this pandemic and how you're operating your business.
Yeah, Nabil, that's our first rodeo. We were not ready for this at all. But we're just following the CDC very closely and see what's going on. And apparently they didn't close the restaurant, which really helped. Business went down, but once again, community came. They support us. We will keep updating them, keep giving them deals, and keep sanitizing it just to make sure that people want to come here. And we make sure the quality of food we serve and make sure that they're happy with the service and the deals that we offer. That's the only preparation we could do. That's
Yeah,
all I.
yeah. Good. Yeah, I know if people are listening, I mean, if you guys are having some bandwidth issues or something, we apologize, but we'll try to make sure that you guys, I will try to repeat if something is not audible. Himad, I know you guys with Faludi, you guys kind of go to a lot of restaurants and taste food and in general support and promote these businesses. How you're seeing the situation now with COVID? A lot of restaurants I see are still open. They're trying their best using technology, different delivery services, curbside pickups, all that. What's your take with the current situation that we're seeing during COVID? And are businesses doing well? People are still ordering, or
From what we've been seeing, it's definitely a decline for everyone across the board. No one wants to leave their home. So a lot of the restaurants, even some restaurants that were never even on any of the delivery apps, now they're forced to be on delivery apps and eating up the cost of that these third parties are taking from them. But I think across the board, I mean, everyone's hurting. But I kind of see it as it's obviously much worse for the restaurants because now it's like a double-edged sword. It's like they're already hurting, but now these people are looking for deals and discounts to go to these restaurants. Like one instance, I recently posted a restaurant on my page, and someone messaged me, was like, "Hey, they're not offering any specials." Well, I responded to them, was like, "Well, they're hurting, so it's like they're not going to be posting these specials just to bring in customers. They need the money." And that's one thing I feel like everyone is looking for now is deals, opposed to supporting the restaurants like they should be.
right, right. Abbas, so what's your take on this? Are you also finding people complaining about deals or looking for deals?
I haven't heard anyone complain per se, but me personally, obviously very unfortunate situation we're living in right now, but I think it's very, very cool how the restaurants have pivoted. Let's take OMG Burger, for example. You can, I don't know if they're still doing it. Someone by correct me if I'm wrong, but they have the quarantine kit. You can take the OMG burgers and make them at home. Not Zabihah, but Chris Shepard is offering a bunch of his raw meat you can take and cook it at home. So Uchi is doing curbside pickup. So just how all these restaurants that you would never thought would have to pivot like this are pivoting, I think it's just really, really cool. And I personally hope that a lot of these restaurants keep these same things once COVID is over, because to me, as like a food lover, being able to cook a lot of these things at home and enjoy these meals at home, it's very cool for me. So my followers are kind of looking for that now, just to just like what they can bring home and make at home, things like that. As far as deals go, Gyro King did a family deal recently, and I feel like a lot of other restaurants are following suit, doing the same thing, kind of doing family packs and things like that. So I wouldn't say like there aren't any deals out there. There definitely are. So they're pivoting in that sense as well.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, I think we see that a lot. I know overall, as we're trying to flatten the curve, it's definitely flattening the revenue for a lot of these businesses and establishments as well. But I'm going to open this question up with some of the restaurant owners. I mean, offering deals. Do you think is this one way of kind of marketing, or is it even beneficial for you guys to have offer these family deals and at least get some sort of revenue? Because I know there's restaurants that are just completely saying no to any family deals or any of that. And some of them, arguably maybe struggling a little bit more. I'll let Mike kind of shed some light on this from his standpoint.
Yeah. So we did start a family deal, probably last month. Um, Actually, about a week after the carry out started and the online deliveries only for the restaurants to operate. But Ramadan starting this Friday, we decided to go ahead and extend that family deal. So it's like it's $35. You get two 7-inch platters, 2 gyros, 2 sides, and 4 drinks. I mean, we're doing that just because we want to put something together. Because right now, families are stuck at home pretty much, which is great. You spend more time with family, but we just wanted to offer something for the families out there, to get. And also, we've been doing deals for first responders at our food truck down on, Old Spanish Trail in Alameda by the medical center. We've been doing 25% off for first responders. We're also about to start another deal this Friday. Spend $12 and get a free gyro, and this is only at the food truck location. So, it is a struggle, but at the same time, I mean, everyone's struggling together. So we're just trying to put some deals out there, to help out our customers as well.
Good. Anas bhai, I know Biryani and More had many BOGO deals that were out there just to kind of help out the community. I mean, again, I mean these deals are not just to definitely generate revenue, but I think this is also a way for these Zabihah restaurants, these restaurants to give it back to, just like Mike was saying, to first responders, people who are in need, families. I mean, restaurants do profit throughout the year, but this is the time of need that where a lot of restaurants are kind of stepping up and helping out. And that's why I know, what's your take? I know you have offered quite a few deals for the community.
Right. So, it is tough for everybody, and especially the restaurant owners. Not only that they have to struggle with the margins, they're also putting their, health and lives on the line, and putting themselves at risk. So this is on top of the risks that they're taking right now. Obviously, we have a lot of deals. We had deals, only on weekdays before, and now we have extended it throughout the weekend. We get more than 100 calls a day. First questions they ask is, what's on special? And I can understand, initially it was kind of irritating, but eventually, we understood that people want to stretch their dollars, and even though they're laid off, I mean, and some of them may be getting money from the government, but we have to do what we can to help our community.
Good. OMG Burger, I know you guys also have some deals. If you can share that to our audience here as well.
Yes, Nabil, we've been offering deal actually all along. We are offering single burger deals. We are offering family packages. We are going to use market packages. And at this point, it's not about making profit. It's not about doing a lot of marketing. It's about helping the community and surviving, and helping the people who are working for us. And those are the people who are struggling the most. I mean, basically, we have a lot of people who just live paycheck to paycheck. So helping them and surviving in the business is a goal right now. Not looking at the profit. Yes, and deals are kind of important for the people who are sitting home and not getting a paycheck. So I think it's not a good way to do things. But whoever can help, definitely should go on and do the purchases to help the small business.
So and Hamad and Abbas, and you guys can probably and can literally chime in a little bit on this. I know as a consumer, right? I mean, we like to make sure that our favorite restaurants survive, and how often is normal for people to kind of order out, and what should be the expectation? I mean, I know with COVID and everybody's kind of staying home, it's not realistic for people to just order out every day, especially with financial crisis that people are facing. What's y'all's take on on the situation, and how often you guys can support or order out? I'll let Himad kind of give his input.
I think it really depends on the person itself. Like with me and Abbas, is that we're almost eating out every single day. If anything, multiple times a day, we're going to different restaurants and whatnot. Now that it really depends on the person's situation. If they lost their job or if they're struggling, no one would really expect them to be ordering out much because times are tough for them. But the people who have the means to aren't able to order delivery, then by all means that they should.
Right, right. No, and I think I agree. I mean, I think that's something that, at least on my show, I tell people that you want to be able to at least order twice a week minimum to support, if you can, if you have the means for it. Um, I know overall, in general, you know, a lot of people have concerns in when they're ordering out, as we're more and more of information has been coming out about sanitization and droplets and everything else. How do you guys, as restaurant owners, making sure that things are, from health wise and sanitization? I mean, that usually happens throughout pre-COVID as well, but now, especially with this situation, what are you guys doing different to make sure that people have that confidence? I'll let Mike kind of probably give his
Yeah.
comments first.
Well, I mean, you know, cleanliness has always been a priority at Euro King, but you know, we're just doing more of it. You know, now. You know, I have markers on the floors to keep social distance. You know, every 6 feet apart. Where I got masks for my staff to wear when they're prepping the orders, taking orders, things like that. We're also sanitizing a lot more, like, you know, the door handles, and all the contact surfaces multiple times an hour now, you know. So we're just trying to do our due diligence to just keep our establishments clean, and let customers see that we're out there and we're wiping the handles down, we're cleaning everything, we're swapping gloves, you know, we're doing everything we can.
Good, good. In general, I mean, I know there's also issues with supplies, right? I mean, I know with during COVID, supplies has been a problem as well. Uh, Getting fresh ingredients, fresh vegetables, meat, and all that. That's also been a challenge because all those industries also struggling as well. Um, you know, Anas, if you can tell us a little bit about your struggles with this, because I want to make sure that our audience understands that it's not very easy to just prepare food and then, you know, put a price on it and, you know, expect people to come in and, you know, start ordering. But there's a process that takes place. So that's why if you can shed a little bit light on that.
So, you know, unlike the regular Americans, we don't depend on canned foods. So our community, especially what we call Desi community, you know, they focus on lentils and, you know, garbanzo beans and you know, atta, which is, you know, the flour and other things. So initially, you know, we had a hard time, you know, getting our hands on some of these products. But then later on, you know, we found out that, hey, there is enough in the pipeline for, you know, for everybody. But now, looking forward, I think we're hearing news because the bulk of this stuff comes from overseas. All these lentils and some of these spices, even though some of the spices have been now being imported from South America, but even then, it's we feel like there will be a disruption on the horizon. So that is something that also keeps us up at night. Hey, you know, what if we can't find the key ingredients to our main products, what would be the thing to do then? But inshallah, we'll see if things turn around and countries in Southeast Asia open up again, then we'll see the supply lines restored.
Good. I mean, I know overall in general, as the industry is going to be opening up, and there's news that systematically and there's going to be some sort of uh, general there's going to be some strategic way of things are going to open up quickly. What can we do, and I'll let Hamad kind of chime in a little bit on that, to really support these businesses and be creative. And I know a lot of businesses have kind of changed their overall their setup. They've become innovative. They have put in some a lot of different deals, as well as they have packaged different foods and things like that. So Hamad, tell us, what do you think would be a way where consumers can really go and support?
It's honestly just continue supporting the restaurants that they normally would, and even going outside of their normal comfort zone and supporting other businesses that they would never even consider to go to before. I've been working with a few friends that are in the US, and we've been trying to put together something in each city that it's kind of like a pot. You would put money into a pot, and every single week you would receive a delivery from a different restaurant. It would be reaching out to the restaurants to see which ones actually need the support and which ones are actually hurting, that every single week this pot would go towards them and people would be receiving food from them.
Okay. So, Abbas, I'll ask you as well. I mean, I know as there's so much variety out there. How often are you going out to eat, or at least going out meaning ordering it and getting it delivered? All these businesses that are hurting. What's realistic for you?
Well, regardless, COVID or not, I was eating out quite a bit, as Himad said earlier. So I'd say at least probably once a day. But to answer your other question, one thing we can do to support the restaurants, I know delivery is huge nowadays, but I think what really support what you can really do to support the restaurant is order directly from the restaurant. DoorDash and all these other places, they're taking a good percentage, which people don't realize. It might end up hurting the business. Yeah, it's good for them. You're ordering their food and all that type of stuff. But really, I think the best way to benefit is to order directly, whether it be pickup or curbside. Some places are doing delivery. And yeah, things like that. One thing that I think is crazy is when this whole thing first started, we were supporting Chinatown. Okay, it was a lot of folks were scared to go to Chinatown to eat, because of Corona and things like that. I never thought that it would expand to every single restaurant in Houston that we would have to start supporting. So yeah, I mean, just kind of puts things into perspective.
Good. I know in general, there is the city of Houston and other city officials are trying to really help promote these businesses. There's Take Us to Your Table option that's been out. There's been other promotions that city officials have been doing to really help these businesses order delivery, takeout, drive-through, support local Houston restaurants. I know Mayor Turner just announced something for tomorrow to take place. How do you guys see that? Is that enough from our city officials, from our local governments to help these businesses? Mike, what's your take?
Well, I mean, a lot of people are hurting, and some people can't afford to eat out all the time. So any support is appreciative, of course. But I feel like it is getting better every day for everyone. I know now they just kind of extended it a little bit longer, but I think people are starting to kind of get used to the way things are, and I think they're going to continue to eat out and order online or call the businesses, and and carry out.
Okay. Salman, if you want to add anything to that, do you think anything else that the counties and the cities and different elected officials should be doing to help your industry?
And Nabil, I would say government is helping you enough. I mean, they're trying to give you grants and all that stuff, not just the local, but the federal one too. So I think it's more about the community, local community, that can help you a lot more as compared to the city level. If we all get together and, like you said, go out and do some order, whatever you guys can afford, and enjoy the deals too as well. So it's more of community-based sport as compared to, you get the help from city, which is already struggling right now.
Okay. Fair enough. I know we talked about a little bit, we touched a little bit on this, different government packages. You as business owners, have you guys received anything yet? And I know there's been a lot of things that have been out, and people already automatically expect that, hey, you guys are getting some support, some relief from these stimulus packages. You guys as business owners, have you guys received any check yet? No.
Not yet. I think they just passed a bill of $420 billion, supposedly, right? So hopefully we'll get some out of it, but so far, no.
Okay. Mike?
Yeah, I mean, no, I mean, I filled out the forms for really to help out our employees. I did the paycheck protection loan, and it's been a couple of weeks and I haven't seen anything yet.
Anas bhai, have you?
Yeah, same thing. We applied third day actually when the program opened up. Uh, no, nothing. And I've actually have yet to find one person that had received that aid that I know personally. I know there's a lot of uh, you know hype in the news that a lot of these chains and franchises are getting it, but mom and pops, maybe only one that I have to yet confirm with him that whether or not he has received it. Yeah, we can definitely make use of that money if it comes our way.
Good. Can you share any stories in terms of your staff? I mean, I know that's one of the biggest aspect of running a good restaurant or business. Have you guys have had those challenges with the staff not wanting to come to work anymore, or shortage of that, or getting sick? How you guys kind of dealing with that situation as well?
Yeah.
Well,
So I'm sorry.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Okay. So yeah, we started off with this year with 12 employees. Now we're down to four. Half of the ones that are not coming are because they're scared about their health. The other half, obviously, we have to let go because of the sales. Uh, and one of the things that also is a challenge for us, that maybe when things do turn around, we may not be able to get those employees back. So yeah, so those are the things that that we have on our mind.
Mike, I know you were gonna add something to that.
Well, I mean, we've been pretty fortunate with our staff. No one has seemed to want to stay home because I mean they have to work to make money. And we've tried our best not to cut hours, but I mean, unfortunately, we had to cut a few hours here and there. And even at one of our locations, we close. We're normally open till 2 a.m. in the morning on Friday and Saturday.
Hmm.
And due to the demographics over in that area, it's our 1960 location. We close at midnight now instead. And we just kind of, even I've had to go in and work in place of someone else just to try to cut hours down.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nabil, same here. We are fairly blessed. We just try to shuffle around the hours, and they understand. We are giving them a little less hour because we cut down on the hours based on the CDC guideline. Once again, you have to close down a certain time and all that. But other than that, we are retaining our people and trying our best to keep the doors open so they can get the paycheck.
Yeah, no, no, absolutely. Himad, what's right now, as we're seeing these restaurants go through this pandemic, what's what's your take on how you're actually handling by going to these restaurants, supporting them, and overall, I mean, I know there's Uber Eats, there's DoorDash, so many different technology and these mobile apps are available now. Are you still taking the time to do that by just calling the restaurant or utilizing these apps? And is that even worth it? And I know Abbas had some stance on that by saying that it's really costs the business a lot. So what would you recommend?
I would say that if you're able to support the restaurant by going in, obviously wearing a mask or ordering directly from them, do so. There's certain situations like I recently traveled to Chicago, so now I'm on a state mandated quarantine for 14 days, so I can't leave my house. So I don't really have that option to go to the restaurants. So I'm just living off delivery apps for now.
Good. Well, stay safe, stay quarantined. Um, you guys as the owners of the restaurants, are you guys supporting each other out in terms of ordering from another favorite restaurant of yours uh, as a restaurant owner? I mean, how is that? Or you guys just like, hey, I'm gonna eat at my own restaurant. What's how you guys are supporting other restaurants, other competitors as well? Anas bhai.
So anybody who owns a restaurant knows this. You know, you get tired of your food pretty quickly.
Mhm.
And so yes, we definitely I've been out several times this week actually. Obviously, to the ones that open late. So yeah, you know, we have to support each other. One thing that Abbas and Hamad both mentioned, this is I want to reiterate that a little bit, to order directly through us. I know it's maybe not convenient for some people, but really some of these a lot of people don't understand that these delivery services take up to 30 to 35% markup from our bottom line. So, for example, a $10 item, we would only get paid $7 for it. So, one way, without breaking their bank, they can come to us, order online, and pick up the food there. So that would be, and I can't. And another thing that I want to mention is, and you may touch on it a little bit later, but the inflation is also affecting everybody. Uh, the cost of food prices is going up. So going forward, if we do decide to maybe up our price a little bit, maybe 5, 10, 20%. So please try to be, you know, generous with us, try to be cooperative with us. So just a little example about, I know I mentioned a little bit about the spices. You know, the cardamom, for example, used to come from India, right? And now it's coming from South America. So the same 10-pound bag of cardamom that we use heavily in our food was $100. Now we pay $300 for the same quantity of cardamom. So where do we pass these increase hit? We have to absorb it. So if going forward, if we decide to up our prices, so please, I want the community to understand that we really didn't have any other choice but to do this.
Good.
I just
Mike,
want to add a little bit, Nabil, on that.
Salman.
No, just like he add the ingredients, right?
Mhm.
Now the meat prices are going up because all the meat plants you saw, there's a lot of them are getting affected. So especially the Creekstone, the premium meat, they're going up pretty high. So come back to the prices. It doesn't mean that we want to change it drastically, but as long as we keep getting the support from the community, once again, I'm getting back to the same thing. As long as we keep getting the support, so we don't have to jack up the price. It's not that we want to, but all these services that we pay 30 to 40%, and all the prices are going up. I think if we can get help of the community when the days are normal, I think we can give them back.
Yeah, I agree. Mike, any you want to shed any light on that?
I mean, we've definitely, inflation has affected us. Even chicken prices have gone up. Even just sourcing the items, we're trying to use all our resources, and you know, some vendors are more expensive than others. We're having to pay more on even shipping costs on some things now. Um, so yeah, any support afterwards. I mean, you know, everything seems to go up in pricing, and you know, like Solomon said, I mean, we will eventually have to go up in pricing on our menus, on our
Yeah.
menu pricing, and I hope customers understand that. But you know, I try to support all the other restaurants. I think I probably eat out maybe at least 6 or 7 times a week.
Yeah.
You know, uh, my wife's been doing a lot of cooking at home, thank God. I mean, she's actually become a great chef through all of this. But yeah, definitely, I'm out there trying to support all the locals. That's for sure.
That's good. That's good. So, folks, definitely, we encourage you guys supporting these restaurants, helping these restaurants out. Are you guys hearing any of your favorite restaurants that are closing down or at the verge of closing down? I know we've been seeing some of the news, especially they're furloughing and laying off a lot of folks, and some restaurants are in dire need right now. Uh, are you guys seeing some of that? Any of your favorite restaurants that are at this situation? Or are you guys hearing stories of that some restaurants are coming in the market? It's an unfortunate situation, but are we there yet? Hamad, if you can chime in.
I personally haven't seen, I've seen restaurants temporarily closing due to social distancing and things like that, but I haven't seen yet any restaurants that are actually closing down per se.
Okay, that's positive. That's positive. Abbas, anything that you have seen so
I
far?
haven't seen restaurants actually close down yet. If they have, I haven't heard about it. Maybe a couple in Chinatown, if I remember correctly. Places like Nancy's Hustle. Not a Zabihah restaurant, but they closed down twice actually already. I think just to keep their employees safe and stuff like that. There's a few famous taco trucks here in Houston that had to shut down. Open back up, but it's been pretty inconsistent with some of these places.
Okay. So if you guys have to support one restaurant, and I know this is usually tough for a business owner to talk about another restaurant. What restaurant would you guys support specifically? What restaurant would you recommend going besides your own restaurant, obviously? Mike, what would you say you usually go out and support?
Gee, there's a little Asian restaurant around the corner from my house that an older couple runs, and I I made it a point to go and order from them, just to keep them open. So they're called Teriyaki Kitchen.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Saman?
I wish I can tell you. I have nothing on top of my head. And like I said, I've been eating out a lot. Like we used to cook home a lot, but now I'm going at least 4 to 5 times a week. Me and my wife, we go out a lot just for that purpose. But I don't have on top of my head that I can tell you one specific restaurant. I wish I have it, but I'm glad that I don't.
All right, Anas bhai.
Yeah, it's hard to say one name, but I tell you this: go support every single restaurant, because if any of you think that we are in these times, while being operational, we are profitable. I think we can't fool ourselves or anybody else. We are open because we want to support our community, and we want to be available for everybody to come in and enjoy good food.
Survive.
Profits can follow later.
Good. Himad, any comments that you want to share, especially some of the restaurants that you're seeing that are really in need? I know everybody's in need, but any top restaurants that you've been supporting?
Well, since I'm in quarantine, I have just been limited to what delivers on the apps. So every single day, I would just go and type in halal on whether it be Grubhub, Uber, or DoorDash, and every single day I'll just go down one on that list and order from that next restaurant. The next day I'll go through and order from the next restaurant. So I'm trying to diversify and go as many ways as I can.
Absolutely. Well, I know Ramzan is coming, and inshallah, I know people. It's a blessed month of Ramadan where people will have opportunity to help these restaurants, order iftar, order suhoor. There's so many opportunities that can we as consumers can help support these restaurants, and it is a blessed month, and this is the month that a lot of doors open up, and whether you're trying to help feed the needy or help masajids, as you know, masajids are still closed, but there are local organizations like ISGH that are opening up drive-throughs to prepare some of the boxes for people who are in need. So that's definitely one way that you can help sponsor some of these food delivery options and food drive-through options through masajids. So that's one way that I would recommend that you who are watching us, and if you want to really support some of these restaurants, you can sponsor that, and that's blessings for all of you who are putting any dollar towards that. Mike, any last words that you want to share with our audience right now in terms of how would you expect post-COVID people coming in and dining into the restaurants?
Well, I hope that's soon. But again, I want to thank all our customers again for supporting all of us. Really, we're all in this together. I just know there's light at the end of the tunnel, and that things will get back to normal. And I think that our industry will flourish at that time.
Inshallah, definitely. Salman.
Yeah, same thing. Like I said, these are hard times, but inshallah, we're gonna pass through this thing. Like you said, month of Ramadan is starting, and we will see sahur and stuff. So we will be offering sahur as well as iftar. So guys, please come and support everybody.
Anas bhai.
Yeah, thank you everybody, all our community members. They have been wonderful thus far. They have come and supported us, and inshallah, things will turn around. With difficulty comes ease. And one thing I wanted to say that being believers, this pandemic has actually helped us in so many ways that the non-believers have not coped with so beautifully. So we know, we believe in Allah, we believe that these are testing times, but inshallah, things will turn around.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Himad, if you want to share any words of encouragement to audience that are watching.
My thing would be just to continue to support the restaurants with rising costs for them, all the struggles that they're going through, and especially their employees are going through. If you have the means to support, please do so.
Good. Good. Abbas.
I mean, just goes back to everything that's already been discussed. Just continue supporting restaurants, and if you need places to support, you can always log on to Haludi. You can log on to Houston Eats. All these all these bloggers around Houston are doing their part to support the restaurants. So if you need a place to support, always log on.
Excellent. No, I think it's important that we support these businesses, and if you can, I mean, encourage your friends, share social medias there. If you have gone and ordered something and you have received a delivery of any of the food, share that with the community. Share that how you enjoyed that food. That helps people. One, it really helps ease the situation that things are happening. Life is still happening, and people are still supporting these businesses. And at the same time, you're helping these establishments as well. And inshallah, I mean, I think as things will open up, I think people will have been home for too long. They do want to support. They do want to go out and eat and hopefully get to some normality, whether it's going to happen immediately or if it's going to take some time. I think there is definitely light at the end of the tunnel. And inshallah, all these businesses that are right now struggling, I think there's going to be a time that there's going to be a community that's going to be behind all of these restaurants, all of these businesses in general. So thank you, our great panelists, for you guys joining in and sharing your thoughts. And we hoping that anybody who's viewing this will take a step, inshallah, this weekend. Just pick up the phone, order, call the restaurants in general. As we have, some of the takeaways from this is, there are different apps that are available, but if you want to really help these establishments, these businesses, call them and try to pick up the food and help these restaurants. So with that, I want to thank everyone and talk to you guys soon. Take care.
Thanks, guys.